It's got some of that early Super Nintendo stuff, but you can talk to all living creatures. Add rocking chairs. Welcome to another Super Nintendo stream, and you're probably saying, wait a minute, you haven't done an intro video in, like, forever. And I'm like, yeah, it's something I did at the start, and decided I haven't really been doing them for a while. Things have mostly, you know, explain themselves as I go. But I thought this deserves an introduction. Like, what? It's not the Super Nintendo series? No, this is still the Super Nintendo series, but that's just it. I'm doing a series of game, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the series itself before I got into the gameplay. I'm doing what is unofficially called the Quintet Trilogy, and I'm going to do them all in a row. Like, I've played, you know, all three Donkey Kongs, all three Mega Man X's, but, you know, I spaced those out and just kind of did them whenever and stuff. These three games I'm doing in a row because it'd be easier to... Let me just explain. This is a unofficial trilogy. As I said, they're three games. They're not a trilogy in the sense that, you know, you do one and the story continues to the next one, which continues to the next one. They're thematic trilogies. They all sort of deal with the same type of situation, you know, the same type of relationships. And so I figured doing them all in a row, you kind of get to see that better than if I space them out a lot. I'm saying that's all well and good, but all I see is you and a blue screen. What games are you talking about? I'm glad you asked, hypothetical person. The first game, the one I'm starting today, Soul Blazer. It's very much like ActRaiser. You take the role of a heavenly angel sent down by the master to... I mean, you'll see this in a minute. I'm about to start the game, but just as an overall, you know, let me go through each of the games. You start as an angel. You're going down to help free the world from demonic influence and stuff. Hooray. The second game in this unofficial trilogy is probably the most famous one, that if you've played any of them, you've probably played this one, and you've probably heard of it at the very least, Illusion of Gaia. Very popular Super Nintendo game. It is the biggest known one of the three. And as I said, if you've played any of them, it's probably been this one. You are Will. You go out on an adventure with a princess and sort of Earth-like. I mean, it's similar to Earth, but there's differences, and we'll get to that when we get to that game. We're not there yet. And then finally, a game you've probably never played, unless you're like me and search out these sort of things, Terranigma, which might be the strongest of the games, actually, in my opinion. You've probably never played it, though, if you were just like, oh, I played Super Nintendo. It was never released in America. You could only play it, I mean, as you see, right... Not hit my camera right here, PAL version. They never released a cartridge of Terranigma in the US, so unless you're like me and went looking for an emulation of it sometime along the way, you've never played it. It's the most like RPG-like of them all. Like, as you'll see, you know, you level up and get strong, blah blah blah. That's, you know, that one you have different like equipment slots and you know your stats, and we'll get to it when we get to it. It's a very fun game. And one of the reasons I want to do Terranigma to show it off to people, and then I'm like, why just do Terranigma when I can do the whole trilogy? So, that's that. I don't really need to say anything much more about it. It's a Super Nintendo series, kid-friendly, all that snazzy stuff. Let's just get to Soul Blazer first. There it is. Soul Blazer! Yeah, we did it! Woo, trilogy over. Good job, guys. Now, I will say, hopefully you'll stick with me along this journey. Start. Hello? Oh. Let me try this again. There might be an intro scene, so I'm resetting that. But yeah, hopefully you'll stick with me for this journey, because especially Illusion of Gaia and Terranigma are very great games worth watching. And they've got more story and interesting stuff. Soul Blazer is a little... It's fun to play, but the story's, you know... As wise men tell a tale late at night of a great king destroyed by the temptation of evil. Oh no. The frail empire, as it was called in those days, was ruled by a powerful man, King Magritte. It seems most people thought the king was a fair and kind ruler. There were some, however, who felt the king himself was ruled by greed. One day the king happened over here two guards talking about a man named Dr. Leo. Now, Dr. Leo was considered by all to be a great inventor and a genius. The king stayed up many nights wondering how he could use this great inventor to make him even more wealthy. Well, there's the answer. Is he ruled by greed? Sounds like it. All of a sudden, the king had an idea. He ordered his guards to capture Dr. Leo and bring him to the castle at once. Oh, that's... Soon Dr. Leo was brought to the castle. Okay. Thank you. The king confined him in a small room and ordered him to invent a machine that would summon the king of evil, Death Toll. Dr. Leo finally completed the machine. The king instantly called upon Death Toll, hoping they might strike a deal. And I'm sure everything went well in the end. Oh, no, wait. After many days, the deal was complete. The king would bring Death Toll all living creatures, and in return, Death Toll would give him a gold piece for each. One by one, all living creatures began to disappear. Soon the world was completely empty. Two people were watching this catastrophe. The master and you, his follower. Yeah, two people. The king was very foolish to be tempted by evil. However, I will give him another chance. You must go down to Earth and revive the Earth. I don't know what it is. On a ray of light, you descend to Earth, a warrior sent to revive the living and punish evil. A soul blazer. Angel. What? Oh, I'm sorry, what? Okay, there's the intro. Now, what do I press? There we go. I will say, one thing that I found very, very interesting about Soul Blazer. You've watched my stream before, you know about Nintendo of America's rules. A bit of a spoiler. It's not a spoiler, it's right here, you can, as it's what I was talking about. There's no spoiler that you're an angel. What I was gonna talk about is, this game is very interesting, because like Nintendo of America, or Super Nintendo stuff, had a big thing about, like, you know, no religious iconography, which is why, you know, they take crosses off of graves and stuff like that. I mean, I've talked about that in other streams, and, you know. This one does not explicitly have religious iconography, but just watch the intro thing. A voice came from above. My follower, since you will be able to speak with all living things, you should have a name. Please choose a name for yourself. Okay, well. Now, I don't know that you actually have... The name that is sort of canonical, kind of, is just Blazer, because you are the Soul Blazer. And there is... I didn't mention it in the intro. It seems weird to mention now, but I'm gonna mention it anyways. As I said, this trilogy is not like a continued story. They're all just thematic things. There is one Easter egg reference in Illusion of Gaia to this game as a direct reference. Like, there is a character who directly references Soul Blazer, like the Blazer, you. So there is that one connection. So I'm gonna keep it with Blazer, since that's what you're called in the second game. What an interesting name. All right, go and save the world for all creatures. Now, there is no direct religious iconography in this, but let's see this. Someone summoned Death Toll, the king of all evil, who they don't call the devil, but now you are a divine being spoken to a disembodied voice from above on a cross about how you are gonna go and smite the wicked and save all living. Like, no, I think this is a save point. Yeah. It's not direct, like, they don't specifically say, like, yes, it's God sending down an angel to fight the devil, or, you know. But, like, for how strict Nintendo of America was, like, that you couldn't allow a cross on a grave in the background of a game, like in Castlevania. Like, something that's not, you're not even, like, dealing with the grave itself. It's just a little thing in the background, like, no, we can't have that. And this one, it's all but flaunting in Nintendo's America's face. It's like, yeah, we're not talking about religious overtones here. We're just the master and a Soul Blazer fighting Death Toll. Yeah. Blazer received the Sword of Life. Let's equip a weapon. So yeah, and as that's what I was saying, it's not a spoiler to be like, you're an angel. Money. Now, as I was saying about how, please stick with me while we go through this game, because basically that intro scene and... What the... Oh, these are weird controls. Yeah, I used to live up in the sky, just like you. Yeah, so it is funny that Nintendo of America was so strict on the tiniest little details. And then, like, Quintet just phones it in with their, like, it's not God and angels and devils, it's the Master and Blazers and Death Toll. And they're like, yeah, that's fine. I find that amusing. I used to live up in heaven, the sky, just like you. Now I'm living on Earth, away from the Master. All the creatures that have been captured by Death Toll are sealed away in monster layers. Just as you set me free, you must free everyone. Even the release of a small tree or creature. They will aid in your quest. Here, take this. Flame Ball magic. Now I will join you. I'm a magician, so I can use all types of magic. I will use my skill to help you. Remember this, I need gems to get magic points. When you set me free, they lost some small spheres of gold. That's a gem. Great. Alright. So, oh yeah, here's the don't know, your basic thing. Get weapons, get armor, get magic. Oh, I should equip that. 4 gems. Shoots a fireball in one direction. Alright. But yeah, there's the story. You've seen it all pretty much. Like, yes, we're gonna go around and talk to people and free them and all. Hooray, hooray. But I will admit, the first game is a little light on story, so just bear with me. I'll try and make it as entertaining as possible. I mean, you still, you rescue people, you talk to them, but there's just a lot of going in dungeons and stabbing enemies, and, it's cool. Blazer heard a small voice. There are many creatures being held in the underground castle. If you can release those creatures, the village will be reconstructed. Hello, I just feel like A should be talk. It's like in every game, A is talk, but in this one, it's your menu. Okay, you're just saying the same thing. So yeah, being that you are a Blazer, you can talk to all living things. Animals, plants, doesn't matter. Now, I guess like grass must just not be sentient. Because like we can talk to this flower, but the grass isn't saying anything. It's just like, hey, Blazer. Hi, Blazer. Hope you find your people. Alright, so you've got the basic story. Here's the basic gameplay. You go into a dungeon. There are these monster-y spawn points. You kill all the monsters that come out. Yes. Okay, they're still coming out. There we go. When you finally kill them all, something will happen. In this case, we got a switch. Hooray, switch. Groovy music. Anyways, but this is sort of like the main thing of the game is you go into a dungeon and then like, now the first one is, as I said, was just a switch to open this. Generally what happens is you will kill all these guys. Come on, there we go. And you resurrect someone. Free them from Death Toll's grasp. Blazer released an old woman, which also happens to be like all the house, like, this lady was in this house, and so it took the house with. And you hear a sigh. Now, I'm not gonna do this every time. Like, obviously you don't have to go out and talk to a person every single time you free someone. That would take forever. I'm gonna do it now, just, this is sort of how the gameplay goes. You go in, beat up a bunch of demons, free someone. My husband used to be the village chief. One day he suddenly disappeared along with the other villagers. I feel so lonely. How about being one of my children? Yeah, sure. Really? I'll call you Blazer from now on. Well, that is my name that I just picked like 5 minutes ago. Use the second floor as your own. So, we didn't just free someone, hooray. We also have now... Oh, Apparently by you can talk to all living things, you can also talk to chairs. Yeah, it's a little... Yeah. It's got some of that early Super Nintendo stuff, but you can talk to all living creatures. Add rocking chairs. I guess the rocking chair has a soul, so... This is the room of the village chief. He used to sit and rock here for hours. I wonder when he's gonna come back. Unless that's just you speculating. So I guess this is our room now. But either way, so as you free stuff, it's not just that you're freeing people, but you're rebuilding the town. And in that case, like, you know, when we get someone who can make a bridge, we'll be able to get across here. You know, when we get... I don't know that there's one here, but, you know, like, you get a plant that might be up on this cliff, so it makes a vine down you can climb up. So it is a very interesting mechanic. It's that, you know, you're going in, and as you progress through the dungeon, you progress through the city. Let's see. Ah. Now, yes, like, here's these blue... I think the blue, like, slimes, they're not, demon monster. Like, they're just monster enemies. You can kill them. They're not gonna free anyone. They're just there to get in your way. Treasure. Blazer, receive medical herb. Yeah. Your HP will be refilled if your life reaches 0. Let's have that equipped. Just in case. They can probably use it, but... Ow! And there's your voice acting, you know? You probably didn't expect to get voice acting in a Super Nintendo game. But there you go. Ugh, ugh. That is the extent of the voice acting. I can. Get out of here, you. I forget what those blue gems are. Switches, maybe? Laser heard a faint voice coming from the jewel that's right there. All right, come over here. Also, earlier Super Nintendo stuff that they spell all right as ALLRIGHT, and not, you know, instead of just one L. Oh, you're the, like, tips. Don't forget to equip the things that you wish to use, or they will not work. And I got experience. Would you like to return? No, I meant... Whatever. Now, as you see, we've killed these demons. They are vanquished. We have blazed them out of existence. These guys, ow, they come back because they're just, you know, little jerks. They do that. Nah, I'm just gonna see, how do I use my magic? I don't want to accidentally use my item. I guess I can unequip it. Oh, I guess you can't unequip it in combat. Oh, there you go. Whatever, game. Okay, so now it's like, oh, we're stuck. Can't go that way. We'll be back. It's a secret. So yeah, the fireball shoots the direction you're facing, but it does shoot from the mage orbiting you, which is, you know, both good and bad, because... Ow. Stop that. Good and bad in that you can, you know, like, you can shoot down there by, like, waiting and then, but also annoying because you're like, someone in front of me, shoot, and then it doesn't. Also good to know, much like, you know, there is a certain degree of positioning in the game, which is just, I find interesting. You know, a relic of the time. Now, I'll get this, then I'll show you. Release the tool shop owner. Whoop. I think we got a health back for freeing a person. You know, much like, you know, in Legend of Zelda, well, the old ones at least, Link is left-handed. So, ow! Man, I'm trying to tell a story. Getting shot. Ugh. Stop it. Thank you. Okay, left-handed. So, like, he always, well, I mean, you know, it's mirrored because of the camera, whatever. He always holds his sword in one hand, his shield in the other, which the way they designed the sprites, like Link to the Past, you know, if you hold your shield out, you can block to the right, to, yeah, down, to the left, but they, like, change which hand the sword and shield are in because of the sprite, so you can see what you're doing, so you can't ever block upwards. Or maybe it's down. There's one direction you can't ever block, is what I'm saying. And you're like, what's that have to do with this game? Well, it's the same sort of thing where, because of how the sprites are made, it gives a certain degree of, I don't want to say like tactical stuff, but because you always swing like this, from left to right. And it doesn't have the weird Link thing where one of the things is reversed. But what that means is, so if you look at it, you have a really quick little whoop on the left side, but your sword actually stays out on the right side. And so that's why you've been seeing me go like, you know, moving off to the side or trying to hit like this because, you know, you're, oh, that's not a block to hide behind. All right, then. Because, you know, like if you're right here, you'll hit them when they're right in front of you. If you're right here, you'll still hit them and they can't even hit you. Like they're not touching you yet. They'll be right here. You know, you're hitting them in the same spot either way, but you're not in danger because your sword goes to the side like that. Conversely, if you know, try and hit them, well, okay, they're just gonna walk around and be dumb. If you try and hit them on the left side, you know, they'll just walk into you and... I released a tulip! There once was a water mill here before the village was destroyed. I hear there's a man in the mill who runs the elevator in the underground castle. Okay, cool. All right, we can go that way. We can, oh. Huh, all right. So freeing a being also free or resets the spawn guys. So yeah, like this. This guy, I can just hit him here. I'm safe. Whereas if I'm like right here, well, A, he shoots at me. And B, he can just keep walking into me. And so I find that interesting, and like it just makes it like your positioning matters more. It's not just run up to enemy and stab them like some old games. Now, some people, of course, might find that annoying. Now, bridge guard, hello, goodbye. And be like, I don't want to have to worry about that, and, you know, maybe they wouldn't like it. But I do. Because it makes it more interesting that, like, you know, that. Because I can't get them any other way. It's just run up to enemy, stab enemy, the end. Well, slice enemy, but you know what I'm saying. Can't get it. Level up. I forget what that does. It might just be... There we go. Okay, so yeah, HP is 10, strength is 2. I don't know if it's just your health or if your strength also goes up or if that's just your weapon. The Dream Rod. Yeah. A strange stick that enables you to look into a dream. I mean, it's more of a magic wand than a stick, but I do kind of like that you're like, I am the archangel sent down from heaven. Let me look into your dreams. And you just like take a stick and you're like, poke, poke, poke. Hey, you, what are you dreaming? Poke, poke, poke. Oh, yeah. Oh, that was everyone. Okay, so we killed all those demon things. And they just open up this one. But then we kill all of these guys. And presumably, I think we rescue a person. Yeah. Ivy! Like, I don't think you can talk to the Ivy. You just are like, Ivy, come back to life. And it's like, okay, and now you have a ladder. I see. Give me those gems. Well, while I'm just standing here killing these guys, see, I kind of talked about, you know, this being a spiritual thing and that it's all about... Now, let's just go back to the beginning. I think it does. But yeah, it's you know, the illusion of Gaia and Terranigma, you're not the Blazer coming down to fight Death Toll, but you are, in both cases, fixing the world in some manner, even if it's not the same thing. And, you know, we'll get into stuff. There's also, like, you know, love interests that go beyond time and space sort of thing. Like, you know, we'll get into all that as the stories unfold. Though that said, there is one thing I forgot that does persist. The idea of Phoenix being the ultimate magic. Not really important story-wise, it's just, I was like, oh yeah. I guess there is some stuff that goes between, like, the Phoenix is the ultimate attack, spell, whatever. The Watermill Keeper, hello. Darn it, this stupid wheel, it's so hard to turn. It's the water wheel? You're not supposed to be turning it. That's for the water. Okay. I am an elevator invented by Dr. Leo. I cannot move unless the water mill is turning. So that's kind of another thing that's interesting with this is like, you go in and, you know, as I said, you progress the dungeon as you progress the outside world at the same time. And sometimes that means like, all right, you get stuck in the dungeon, go back out, solve a puzzle out there so that you can come back in here to do stuff. It's neat. Hello, we've talked to you. So this is my room. Does that mean I can like sleep in it and heal? Because I am missing some health. I can't. You can use this as your own room. Okay, can I use it? No. Blazer, you're just walking around doing nothing. I'm beginning to worry about you. Please stay here and rest. He's in for a very long go of it if he thinks he moves the wheel, which moves the water. Look, he's just like, there's talking tulips and talking elevators. Maybe I'm supposed to spin the wheel to make the water go. Oh yeah, we already... You don't even see anything different when I come out. Okay. Hello. May I help you? Oh, you're the one who released me. Whenever you use your medical herb, please come back and I will give you another. So yeah, it's, you know, like, that is another, like, I say, that's one thing I like about, I've said I like a lot of one thing. Like, this is a good game, don't get me wrong. I think that, you know, Illusion of Gaia and Terranigma have stronger stories, and Terranigma definitely has better gameplay. But this is still a fun game, and so that's one thing. Can I go through, please? I'm the guard of the bridge. I guess it's not really necessary to guard such a small bridge. Please pass. Thank you. And then he goes back to guarding it. It's like, I guess I don't need to, but I want to. So yeah, there's like a store, but you don't collect money. Like, you're an angel. You don't need money. You don't have money. And they're also like, yeah, you rescued me. Like, if you need another thing, I'll just give it to you. I'm not gonna be like, yes, trade me some of your gems for me to help give you a healing. They're like, no. That's the dude that saved me and is going around saving everyone. Do you need another herb? Yeah, here you go. Which is a nice break from the standard RPG. It's like, oh no, the world's in danger and these kids are the only one who can save it. Now we're gonna charge you an exorbitant price for healing items. Like, but if we fail, you're gonna... Rotating this wheel will move the elevator in the underground castle. I'm too weak to turn this wheel. Will you do it for me? Yeah. Will you try to turn it? I will. I guess you're just like positioning the rods or whatever into place so that the wheel's connected to the elevator. Now, there's the question though, was it really stuck? Like, because there's two ways this could go. Either it's like, he's like, oh, this is so hard, and you just come down with all of your Blazer strength, and you're just like, yep, crunk. Like, that's what it, you know, that's what happens, me being, you know, from the sky. Or is it this that he's like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm like, dude, you're fine. Oh, I've been trapped in that demon so long, I can't move it at all. No, you're just lazy. Shut up. I am the archangel sent down from heaven. Let me look into your dreams. And you just like take a stick and poke, poke, poke. Hey, you, what are you dreaming? Poke, poke, poke.